Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jose Cruz. This is Literacy for All on WS Radio. And our guests are Susan Vega. She is currently with the San Diego Public Library Read San Diego program. And then Gilbert Sandoval, who is a former literacy student, and now he's a tutor. Let's see. Let's go back a little bit to the role of, Susan, I'm going to you right now, the role that libraries in California have been playing in literacy. And you're one of those rare individuals. You've been with 4 libraries. I forgot about your San Jose gig, so you did go out there for a while. But how does that work for the public? Because if you'd have mentioned library-based literacy services back in the 1980s, people would say, "Why are libraries doing that?" So tell me about your experiences and why that makes sense.
Well, people go to the libraries for books, and in order to get books, you have to learn how to read. So why not offer literacy services to adults that need it? And oftentimes when people want help, they'll ask a reliable source, and usually that's a librarian.
Right, that's true.
And would make it a one-stop shop. But it is great because libraries are very much part of the community. They serve so many roles other than just being a repository for books. Mm-hmm. They provide information and education, and I find it great because what Gilbert said about the stigma of not being able to read. If you're going to the library, it's perfectly natural to be surrounded by books, and it's not as intimidating to say, "Well, I'm going to school to learn how to read." I just say, "I'm going to the library."
Yeah, that makes sense, and it could work the other way. It's like, I don't know how to read, or I don't read that well. I'm going to stay away from books. Mm-hmm. But libraries have changed the way they present themselves. Because before we talked about how shh. You have to be quiet and all that, but libraries aren't like that anymore, are they?
No, you walk into the library and it's vibrant and noisy, and there are quiet spaces. So if you need a quiet space, there is a quiet space. Yeah. But it's so lively at night at libraries. I'm sure at National City it's very nice. They have live music too Monday nights.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so it's a community gathering place. And one of my favorite quotes about libraries is, "It's the people's university." Mm-hmm. And I love that because that means it's the college or whatever anyone can go to. Yes. Gilbert, when you asked for help, did you know you were going to a library-based literacy program? Did it matter to you? What did you think about where you were going?
Yes, well, I was going to. I seen it on TV advertised on TV too, and then my son told me about it. Then I didn't know what to expect. I know I walked in there, and everybody was so friendly and so helpful. And I guess you can just see through their eyes that they were just really concerned about you.
Very good.
And so I continued to go, and then as I continued to go, I felt like an average student when all the students we had and all the programs that were going on. I could rate myself. I was a B student with all in the class. Yeah. Just even though I didn't know how to read that well. Mm-hmm. And then I had some great tutors that really made me understand.
It was really important to you, and I know you've been interviewed a few times. You're being interviewed right now, and you brought a folder here with some materials, and I think things where you've been profiled and such. Well, but you're also responsible for a title of a book that one of our AmeriCorps people wrote. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
and do you remember how it happened?
Yes, I do. It's called the House of Miracles.
House of Miracles.
It's the House of Miracles. And I don't know, how would I say? I just felt like writing it, expressing my thanks to the library.
Yeah. But it was like, as you said, and this is the importance of these literacy programs to people out there that for you, a dream had come true. This is like a house of miracles. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so I think it's really important for people to understand, we talk about numbers a lot. And at the same time, we forget, and Gilbert, your story is great because you were very involved in your community, but here you had still this thing that you wanted to take care of that you didn't have. Yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah, and so we just need people to understand that there's a lot that there are real people behind these numbers. There are real stories, and I always say, ask a literacy student 3 questions, and you're going to hear something that you won't hear the same from anybody else. What got you into the program? What made you ask for help? How has your life changed? And that, I know you can take that and run with it, Gilbert.
Oh, yes, well, especially when the students I get and the ones that stay on and the ones that leave, I can understand why they left.
Mm-hmm.
But, it just, I guess you got to live it.
Yes.
And that's about it.
And would you say for your students, they understand that you lived it, and that's helped you to help them?
Help them too, the ones that stay on, the ones that... I got one from the Chula Vista. They gave me a group of women, ladies, and they were all Spanish-speaking. I remember I had about 6 of them. And only one followed. When Chula Vista closed the program, I went to Nash City, and one followed me. And Patricia, right now, she went to Southwestern College, and she just bloomed.
Well, I was going to ask you about your success stories out there. Would you say that's one of your biggies?
Yes, one of the biggies. She stood with me, and we'd read every day, and I'd correct her when she would say the word wrong or the suffix wrong or the vowel. And she's a success story. She's got a degree at the Southwestern College. And
if it was just one person, but it's not. It's a lot of people that are being helped, and her name's Patrice.
Patricia.
And, what a special story. And again, going from being tutored by Susan and then becoming a tutor and then helping Patrice do what she's doing now, and maybe she can also pay it forward, as we say, and help other people out. Tell us, is Gilbert your big success stories, or are there others that you have?
Others. Gilbert's probably the most famous success story. And it's just so inspiring to see him bloom as well. Recently, we've had a student who promised his mom that he'd get his high school diploma. And through Career Online High School, he was able to achieve it, and he had a huge graduation ceremony. He was very... It was sad because the mom passed away before he could achieve it, but he's in his 50s and he got it, and he brought family, and that was a wonderful experience. But also, Gilbert, you got your GED.
I got my GED.
Oh, okay. Oops, didn't want to forget about that.
Yeah,
that's important.
That's the story. I was set in special ed all the way through from junior high school to high school, and the last year they told me, if you go take government. And what was the other one? Government and another class, history or something. Then you can get a diploma.
Very good.
At summer school. But I sat there. I said, God, when the pressure was on me, I couldn't read. All my peers were around me.
Yep.
I took off and got me a summer job on the tomato fields up there in Rancho Bernardo. So I went back after I got into the program here in Chula Vista. I went and got me a GED.
Okay, very good. I'm going to cut you short just because we're coming to the end of the segment and the show. But we'll make this about literacy volunteers. What would be something you would tell to someone, Gilbert, who is thinking about being a volunteer tutor?
Oh, I would tell them that you guys don't know the enrichment reward you get out of it.
Very good.
Because there's a lot of people that need help out there.
Yeah, and certainly just hearing your story should also encourage potential learners out there to call and ask for help. Susan, what would you tell a tutor coming in? Or someone considering being a tutor?
I mean, you meet great people like Gilbert.
Yeah.
You help your community. I mean, you're helping one person, but in turn, they are going to help others.
Very good. Very good. We'd love to have you both back. Man, we could go on forever. I'm so glad to have Susan Vega from San Diego Public Library, Read San Diego, and Gilbert Sandoval. I'm Jose Cruz. You've been listening to Literacy for All Radio, WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children.
After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
In the military, things can change in an instant. Your personal life is just the same. Just like you protect our country, you want your family protected. That's why thousands of military members trust Navy Mutual Life Insurance. Navy Mutual is nonprofit, providing current and former Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard families with life insurance, no sales fees, and no military service restrictions. Protecting members on active duty and beyond. Call 1-800-628-6011, 800-628-6011, NavyMutual.org, insuring those who serve.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
I've heard this is like one of the best pizza spots in town.
Yes, it is.
I'll do a slice of pepperoni, slice of vegetarian.
You got it.
And I will pay for all of that in 3 days.
In 3 days?
What's that mean? Well, wait, you accept credit cards. That money's not going to hit your account for 3 days anyway.
I need my money quicker.
At Chase, we hear you. With Express Funding, card payments are in your Chase account the next business day. Go to chase.com/expressfunding. Chase for business, so you can.
Compensated participation. All businesses are subject to credit approval. Not all clients are eligible for next business day funding, and additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.